Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I talked a while back about a gentleman named Paul Hellyer. He used to be the Canadian Minister of Defense, and he is the epitome of what you want in a UFO or a government conspiracy insider, leaking UFO secrets, that kind of thing. Well, there's somebody else you have to consider. Um, there's a there was a man in 2013. We don't know his real name. He went under the pseudonym Agent Cooper, Kewper, Cooper. And the reason he went by a pseudonym was because, according to him, he was a CIA agent. Now, this guy, this is his claims. Okay, he claims he was dying of cancer. He didn't have long to live. He was going to have a procedure for his kidneys, and if that didn't work, they had maybe a couple of months and they were going to shut down, and he was gone. So he wanted to get this information out. Now that's, to me, that is the definition of a deathbed confession, or at least as close to it as you can get with actually being in the bed. Because I watched the video, he's sitting in a chair. That being said, if this guy was faking it, he did a good job. If he's an actor or if he's playing the part and it's not real, he needs some kind of an award because he looked the part. His voice, the way he acted, his breathing, everything. I mean, he looked the part. He sold it. If it was fake, buddy, he sold it. So, according to this guy, he used to work for the Army Signal Corps. He was drafted in the 50s in the Army. And he was part of the Army Signal Corps, later became an instructor for the Army Signal Corps, and then later joined the CIA. This guy later on, in the CIA, he collected information on cases for Project Blue Book. He and his boss went around and they talked to people. This guy may have actually been the quote-unquote Men in Black. This guy might have been one, because he talked to people who had seen UFOs, and apparently there are cases, specific cases that couldn't be explained or debunked, outed as hoaxes or whatever. These are the cases he and his boss got. This is according to him. It's my understanding. Now, his Blue Book work was regarding specific cases that could not be explained, and interviewed people and gathered data. Okay, he was briefed on Greys and other aliens. He was briefed on the Roswell incident. In the course of his career, he spent a lot of time traveling and doing different things, talking to different people, and he was convinced that some of these people were genuine. Then an incident happened later. He was talking with Eisenhower and Nixon in the White House. He and his boss were summoned to the White House to talk to them. This is what he said. He said Eisenhower was at odds with MJ-12, and I'm going to do a video on them here in a little bit. Excuse me. MJ-12 was a specific group of civilians, military people, and scientists. And these people had specific knowledge of UFOs. They're according to this guy, these people were set up to create policies and to go and actually enact these policies for retrieving downed UFO technology, craft, alien beings, that kind of thing. So, according to him, he visited the White House, and Eisenhower, specifically Eisenhower, told him and his boss that they were at odds with this MJ-12 group. And he was ordered to go to, he and his boss were ordered to go to S4 and Area 51 to tell this group, because that's apparently where they operated out of. He was going to go tell this group to report back to the president, because apparently they hadn't reported back. He hadn't been getting his reports like he wanted. He according to this guy, he was told to tell them to report back to the president, or Eisenhower would, quote, invade the base with the First Army and take it, regardless of whatever was classified there and all that other stuff. Eisenhower is very upset, apparently. Now, So he and his boss, following orders, went to Area 51S4. According to him, they saw multiple aircraft, or multiple alien craft, including the Roswell craft that had crashed at Roswell and was badly damaged. And I may do a video on that later, depending on how much real info I can get, because it's been muddied so much. But the point being, he also saw autopsy films, and his boss, rather, in the other room, they had an actual gray alien that they were talking to. And his boss went in there and talked to this gray alien. That's what this man said. Now, I have to give credit for this video. The film is called Truth Embargo by Anonymous. I believe this is the truth. I believe this is what it is. Now, and it's in conjunction with the Disclosure Project with Dr. Stephen Greer. Now, if this guy is serious and if he's real, this guy gave, now, and keep in mind, a deathbed confession, when you believe you're going to die, a deathbed confession is admissible in court. So this is a serious thing. If this guy's true, if this guy's real and he's telling the truth, that's some pretty compelling evidence. That's the definition of a government insider. So, if you haven't seen it, this guy, it's a deathbed confession of UFO secrets. The date of the interview was March 5th. Apparently this guy had been in contact with a reporter named Linda Moulton Howe. And he had been on, I want to say it was Coast to Coast AM, but don't quote me there. Good program if you haven't seen it, by the way. Used to be with Art Bell, now they're doing, now it's George Norrie, and, you know, it's pretty good. At any rate, he was going to the store, and a Lincoln Town Car pulled up, a black Lincoln Town Car, two guys in dark suits got out, and warned him not to talk to Linda Moulton Howe. So they had somebody else, I want to say it was Richard Dolan, got this interview. So he didn't disobey. He just gave it to a different person. Besides that, he's dying. What does he care, right? At any rate, so that was that interview. And if you have more information, or if you have any comments, stick them down there. I'll read them. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.